Our cooperation with Russia will be based more on education and the transfer of knowledge. It will not be a cooperation where we are there asking for help, asking for financial or economic support, and so on. That is not why we are here.
Ibrahim Traore recently granted an interview. That interview blew my mind. I'm like, wow. Wow. Now, don't worry. I'm going to play the interview. Watch the video and listen carefully from the man, the visionary man. I mean, Burkina Faso people, my people of Burkina Faso, please take care of this guy. This guy is a visionary leader. It's not just a leader, but a visionary man. And I hope other African nations will learn from this guy and follow his footsteps. So, what really he wants from Russia? Now, listen. Ibrahim Traore said, Russia, we are partner with Russia for scientific knowledge because I want scientific knowledge for my people so that we can build our own country. We want the hardware. We want the knowledge so that they can teach us. We can send people here to study, to learn the scientific idea so that we can build our own infrastructure in Burkina Faso. I'm like, wow. This guy is not just a leader, but a visionary man. Now, grip on your own country. The first thing you have to get it right is try by all means to industrialize your own country. When you industrialize your own country, it gives you a leverage how to manage your resources you have so that nobody will just come tomorrow and grab your resources because you have the idea. Immediately you industrialize and you build your own people, their educational level to scientific idea so that they can create, innovate. That's how you start creating the enabling environment in your own country. Immediately you industrialize, as I said, you start gripping on your own economy because you will have a lot of resources to manage your own country. You will stop borrowing from IMF, World Bank, other international institutions. That's how you build your country. That is the idea Ibrahim Traore is pursuing, and I hope he will succeed on that. Just look, 2 years, he changed a lot of things in Burkina Faso. Now, Burkina Faso still struggle with a lot of things, which he also aware of it, right? But that is a step into the right direction. And I hope other African leaders will learn from this guy. He said, we are in Russia. We are not there for handout, begging money, but rather we want the Russian government to share with us knowledge, how to build our own infrastructure. I mean, the scientific knowledge, right? So, this guy is a visionary leader. I was one of his critics, but this recent time I watched some of his interview. It make me believe that this guy ready to change African continent, which other African leader will learn from him also. This guy is not just a leader, but somebody who want to change the narrative of Africa. And the only way African narrative will change by starting industrializing, starting educating our youth so that they can learn scientific idea. They have the knowledge to innovate, to create, to build infrastructure in Africa. That's how we grip on our own economy. I will play the video for you. Let me know in the comment section. What's your thoughts? Let me know. Thank you.
Our cooperation with Russia will be based more on education and the transfer of knowledge. It will not be a cooperation where we are there asking for help, asking for financial or economic support, and so on. That is not why we are here. We are here to cooperate more in the field of knowledge. And knowledge is much more scientific. And you, here in the scientific university, I admire you greatly because normally you are supposed to learn and practice science, chemistry, and radio technology. This is what we need today in order to develop. I will give you a few examples during my speech to illustrate the core of my thinking. Here, we are at Mendeleev University. Everyone who has taken science courses has studied Mendeleev. And I'm going to share a little anecdote with you. During my school years, there were people who didn't like certain subjects and couldn't manage to learn certain things. So when they couldn't do it, we would nickname them after the scientist who invented that thing. For example, we had people we called Pavlov, and we also had people we called Mendeleev as well. The one we called Mendeleev, for instance, once wondered why Mendeleev created that table. It's to create problems for us. You see, he has to study a table, but he doesn't know why he has to study it. Which means that if he doesn't practice, he doesn't know the usefulness of the periodic table firsthand. That's why I say, in this regard, cooperation is very important so that we can actually practice. It's the same thing with chemical equations that we spend so much time balancing, since, I would say, high school. We're really good when, on paper, we're told to balance a chemical equation, we do it. When in thermodynamics, we're asked to calculate the standard enthalpy of formation of a substance, we do it. But practically speaking, what do we actually do? For example, has anyone ever shown me, say, an illustration of a nucleus like that of hydrogen and explained what happens if you remove an electron or what happens if you add an electron? I never got that kind of practical illustration. Since high school, we've been doing chemical reactions with hydrochloric acid on paper. But I've never actually handled hydrochloric acid or performed a real experiment with it. This just goes to show you how important practical experience is, and in our countries we lack the laboratories that would allow us to get that hands-on practice. And you shouldn't become the kind of theorist that I am. That's why we want to replicate this kind of university back home, so that our young people studying scientific subjects can get practical experience and not just be theorists. So many